world, man. It's Fans of Patrol time. I'm Mr. Button all the way up to the top. My name is Montego. I'm back, man, with my posse, man. What is up with my co-host, Miss Tifflebot?
It's a great day. It's a great day to podcast. I'm ready.
You sure about that, Tifflebot?
Yes. Don't talk about any of my secrets I revealed before the show was on, okay? That's my personal business.
All right, y'all. Just we don't want to talk about all the good stuff that Tiff don't want y'all to know. Anyway, man, it's a special day, man. We brought back family members again, man, because by popular demand, people love our family members. We got back in the house, your girl and mine, Miss Liza Raphael from what's the name of that thing you do? Love Happens Film. I'm just playing.
Thanks for having me back.
Indeed.
Glad to be here.
Indeed. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been trying to stay cool in New York City. Weather's getting really hot. It's summertime.
And how is the movie business?
Movie business is doing really well. We're getting back into the movie theaters, and that's exciting news. I'm excited to share with everybody that we're going to be screening Love Happens at another film festival. We're going to be at the Queens World Film Festival later this month, both in person and virtually. So anyone, anywhere in the world can see it, which is very exciting. The virtual tickets are available for $15, so they have 2 screens and you get the movie for 72 hours. And in-person tickets are only $10, so that's pretty cheap for a New York City movie theater.
You damn right. Where y'all at? In Idaho? That don't sound right.
So you can find out all of the details. You can go to our website, lovehappensfilm.com. You can also go to our social pages where we have links to purchase the tickets there. The in-person screening is June 27th at 4 p.m. and the virtual screening starts at 10 p.m. on June 30th. So if you are able to attend, either way is great. But if you are really into film festivals and want to have access to everything that's at the film festival, which is almost 200 films and from all over the world, we are going to be offering for the first 3 Fans on Patrol exclusive discount to get an all access pass. So the first 3 fans who DM the Love Happens Film Instagram or Twitter account will get a discount code to get this all access pass for $25, which is $100 off of the price. So if you are interested in that, then you can message us as soon as this episode drops.
Holy moly. Bravo. Bravo for that. Bravo to you fans. Jump on that. That's a beautiful thing. That's nice, Liza. You're so nice. God damn.
I'm happy to share. And for everyone who, this is separate from the film festival, for everyone who likes some new music, we have a full EP of the songs that were written inspired by the film that is available free on streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and Amazon, plus other places to come. That's also on our website. But if you go to any of your streaming services that you have and you search Love Happens, you're going to find our EP. And so we're really excited about that. And we're going to be doing a live music event on Instagram Live, performing those songs on June 24th at 7 p.m. So if you want to hear some live music to get excited about seeing the movie in the film festival, that's where you can find us. And again, our handle on all our social media is Love Happens Film across Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah, plus I'll share and sending the show out, you guys as a link and stuff like that, so that'll be easy for the people.
Yeah.
Tifflebot,
Yes.
Liza makes me feel like a loser. I don't know if I like when she comes here. I feel like I'm doing nothing with myself, and then she comes on and she's like,
yeah,
things are happening, I'm rolling, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm tired.
Right. Oh no.
I've done a lot of naps. I would like an award for the amount of naps I've had.
Best sleep in the universe, Miss Tiff Pot. You know?
We need you well rested, Tiffany.
That's true.
Oh my
It's been a busy month. June is busy for us, but we're really excited to be able to get out there and like interact with people for the first time with this project since, you know, the film's been available.
Speaking of June, hey, happy Pride Month there, Tiffobot. This is still a Pride Month, right?
That's right. Here we are. It's Pride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride Month to all you Pride people out there, you proudest of the people. Anyway. So,
yes,
man.
June is a very exciting month, I think, especially this year for a lot of people, for Pride and for being kind of re-released into the world in a limited capacity and all that good stuff.
It's also Black Music Month. Whatever the hell that is. Yeah, that's.
I think I did know that. I think I saw that on iTunes.
Yeah, so go get some brother music, man.
But and as we would say always, doesn't have to be just this month. So if we talk about this every time that's Black History Month. That's it shouldn't be just 1 month, and definitely shouldn't be the shortest month. So.
Right.
Well, this is America.
We are still in America.
This is America.
We're here.
Anyway, man, we got I did it to her, y'all. We got a good show. I did it to her.
Oh my God.
I had to get her, y'all. I had to get her. And I had help with this one. So
yes,
what we're doing this on this show. Now, we're not doing an E3 show, but we got in the news some pretty impressive video game news, and we'll probably do more E3 news next week just because for it to all get out. So Tiff did the notes today, and she found some stuff that she was interested in because I didn't even know it was E3 because they didn't change the shit so bad, y'all, that you don't know. It used to be a highlight of my year, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like, it's E3? When that happened?
Everybody, shh. It's E3.
I know. That's because the corporate suits have taken over gaming.
Well, I mean, okay, but I don't want to like shit on a bunch of stuff, but you're okay. Regardless of what, so E3 has always been a media thing. It's for media, right?
Yes.
So used to be that only press could get in, and then I think they opened it to everybody, and then that didn't really work, and I think they still are doing that, but it's digital now. Blah blah blah. Who cares?
It worked. They're just assholes because it turned into like another Comic-Con, like a San Diego.
Right.
It was huge, and it was
huge.
It was nice. Why am I holding this book? I'm waving a book, y'all.
Emphasis that no one can see. So I do believe that the problem has been that like they have slowly lost sight of the fact that yes, you want the press to know about your stuff, right?
Yes.
Obviously, but at the end of the day, what you really want is people to buy your shit.
That is true, and you know something, y'all not doing a good job because all I've been doing is buying and playing old games.
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun with my Mass Effect reboot. It's like because the newer games, in my opinion, have been sucking. But this is not the news segment. Let's keep going. So Liza made a game, and she explained the game to us, and it's a pretty good game, but I think I'm going to get destroyed. So we'll explain that when we get there. And this week, y'all, we went to Star Wars, man. We went all the way back to Star Wars. The Bad Batch has come out. Y'all know I want to talk about it, but Tiff, she don't watch stuff like that. So we forced her to watch it. All of them, y'all. All of them. All the shows up until now. So we're going to be discussing The Bad Batch. So if you're a Star Wars fan, and I know you are because you listen to this, you're pretty much a Star Wars fan. We're doing that today. So 9 minutes into the show, saying all that, are you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go. We have returned again. It's time to get the show started. Talk about all the good stuff. Tiff did the notes. What do you got, Tiff?
So I want to talk a little bit about the announcement. Well, it's not exactly the announcement, but the information about the gameplay trailer and release date for Elden Ring, which is so I know that like not everyone is super into gaming who listens to this or is on this podcast. It's called. This is a kind of a Souls-like, and what a Souls-like is a game that's like Demon Souls. So just like big bosses, more about dodge and parry, like a long haul, kind of a lot more. People think them are a lot more difficult than normal games. But this is a big deal because it's been a long awaited. It's like an open world Souls game, so you can go everywhere and do everything. It's produced or done by George R.R. Martin and From Software. So, like, of course, we all know George R.R. Martin is a big deal, big name. And I think like what people have been saying about this is that like there is some gameplay trailer in this. You know, it's beautiful. It looks great. Not for everybody though. That's kind of what I thought. I know that like not everyone. Like Liza, not a big fan, but of video game, but I want to hear what you guys kind of thought. Especially, it's kind of nice to hear like what somebody who doesn't normally do that stuff might think about what they've seen. What about you?
Well, first of all, I was very surprised with the George R.R. Martin. I'm like, is that the Mad Max guy? Yeah, you know, and then he's like damn near 80 years old. So I was really.
It's the fucking no, it's what's his nuts?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's another old dude. Oh yeah, I was thinking about the wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, the George R.R. Martin looks like the Gordon Fisherman.
Yeah. Now this actually makes more sense, but he's still. You ain't even finished the books.
He's old.
You ain't even finished the other books. They still waiting on the Game of Thrones books to finish. So.
Everyone listening, sorry, that ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen.
And that's fine. Here's the thing, that's fine. He lived his whole life in obscurity until not really obscurity, but like he was not famous and he wasn't rich. And all of a sudden you became rich. If I became rich and I was writing a bunch of books, I'd be like, and I was like 75, I'd be like, yeah, you get fucked. I'm gonna do whatever I want until I'm dead.
So now this gameplay actually makes a lot of sense now because I was like, when I was thinking of the other guy, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, the Mad Max guy. And I was like, well, goddamn, this don't look like something he would be into. But now Lord of the Rings, yeah, there's a bunch of knights and stuff like that. When it started out, Tiff, I was falling asleep, you know, with the guy on a horse and stuff. And I'm like, well, this looks boring. But then once the fighting and stuff started, it looks cool. Not my cup of tea. I don't play too much of the the Dungeons and Dragon world type of games, but it did look good. You know, but
just Montego rolling up on us, be like, nerd.
Right. You were a super nerd.
Oh my god.
So I mean, it looks good. Can't wait till E3 is over with so we can do some reporting on it, just so I can see what some of the other things look like. Because is this top of the heap? I've never heard of this property before, but that doesn't mean anything because I know this. Final Fantasy, all this type of stuff like this, it has a huge audience just because I'm not into it. And so people might be losing their damn minds over this. It looks good. And I like how my last thing I'll say is that the gameplay was almost as good as the trailers. It looked, they were switching from both to both and it looked pretty seamless, man. So that's either good editing or they put their foot in this game. But like I keep saying, I ain't playing older video games, so I don't know if I'm even care.
I'm sure there's something that could draw you out.
Yeah. So, Liza, any thoughts on this?
So like Tiffany mentioned, I don't play video games. And it's more of I don't know. I don't understand the like general concept of why you would do that. But it's not a shade. It's just like I can't wrap my head around it. I've watched people play video games and fallen asleep. Like I don't know how to, like if I ever have insomnia, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
But this looks, I mean, it looks really good. I have no idea what's going on based on the trailer.
Neither do me.
Also,
me neither.
I also have no idea what's going on based on anything you said in the intro, Tiff, because I was like, she's saying words that I don't know and they're in weird orders. I don't know what's happening. So this isn't for me, but I could see myself falling asleep watching it. Like I don't really.
I would watch this to fall asleep. 10 stars.
Well, full disclosure, I play video games, but I could never, ever watch a person play a video game. I will fall asleep. I don't give a damn what's happening, like doing the over the shoulder. But plenty of people do. I've had people watching me play games. I'm like, you just gonna watch me? They're like, yeah, it's like a movie. I'm like, oh, okay. And I know Tiff, she watches Mike play games too. So
I sure do.
And so, it must be in your bag or in your wheelhouse, man. I guess, you know.
I think, for us in this group particularly, not to age anyone, but we did grow up in a time like when we were very little where
Not to
the
age
games
somebody.
weren't cinematic in any way. Do you know what I mean? Like you had your Mario and like
Right.
stuff like that, but it was more like platforming and about like how far can you jump? Can you figure out this puzzle? Blah 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 blah. And then probably like maybe in the like mid to late 90s, I guess stuff started to become like more story driven as far as like your Resident Evils and your Silent Hills
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even like Persona games and stuff like that were coming out, Tales, whatever. And so because of that, I think that especially younger generations, like people who were born like 1995 and up, have always known about, like, have always been like, it's been part of their cultural awareness is video games and cinematic video games. And so like I think that like they have it's much more palatable for them to sit down and watch something that they think is like a movie to them, because they are already used to that kind of like, for instance, like they're not bothered by the repetitive nature of failure.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that, but it's such a weird thing when you get into my generation because, I'm the original generation of video games. Space Invaders was like the shit, you know what I'm saying? And Pac-Man and all that stuff. And it changed over the years. And for some of us, you lost a lot of people. And for some of us, you gained a lot of people, like, because especially once they became more cinematic, because it was like, hey, you're playing a movie. So I'll agree with you 100% on that. I'll tell you what's funny though. Every time we talk about video game history, when video games first started, man, they treated them like, for my generation, like they were drugs. Like it was like, you better not be in that video arcade. That's where the losers go. It's like, well, if you guys could have only saw the goddamn future and see these billionaires playing these games, just making millions and millions playing video games. I think it like flushed out a lot of people who would have been gamers over, from way back from when I started and, into your generation. Cause of course that was over with, pretty quickly with the loser syndrome with video games. But I don't know, man. I love them and they ain't going nowhere. Let's talk about this other one, man. What else you got?
So the other game that I have all game news this week, but the other game that I put up was something I don't even give a shit about, but I thought maybe would appeal to potentially at least a little bit to both of you. Not because the film's good, but
I love the film. So
Avatar, I know you do. Settle down. Avatar is releasing, well, not Avatar, but they are making an Avatar game. It's called Frontiers of Pandora, and it looks like from the trailer that you watched that very similar. I mean, I've never seen the movie, but I know about it. So very similar concept to the movie where like the Marines, right? With the Marines, sure.
Yeah.
Show up to this planet and there's the native population there, and then there's just some fighting, obviously. And I think that so the trailer here doesn't show very much about the plot necessarily, so I don't know if it's just the same as the movie or a side plot or something entirely different.
Yeah.
But it looks good. I mean, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. A little ambivalent here. Okay, so they're coming out with movies. They're filming all at once, like 4 and 5, at the same time. Like what, 20 years later from when the first one came out. Well, not exactly 20 years, but a long time ago that movie came out. And so now Ubisoft got involved, which gives it a little cred to me because mostly Ubisoft games are really well thought out, and they're normally pretty good. They can get a little repetitive with their gameplay, but it's normally pretty good. So the game is pretty, right? It's extremely pretty, but that's not a big deal now these days, right? Most games are pretty. Right. And so, yeah, they didn't really show anything about the story, which to me is the best part about Avatar. Unlike all the millions of people who hate it, but it's still the most seen movie on the planet. So it's just baffles my mind. People got so much shit to talk about this movie, but it's made more money than any movie in history.
But I gotta be fair. I'm gonna shit on it a little bit because so for instance, one thing I have to say is that, yeah, it probably does have the highest amount, but I do believe it was also in theaters for an extended period of time. Like that helps it.
People still went to go see it.
Recently,
again.
What?
People still
Yeah.
went and go see it.
But they brought it back because they are so fucking petty because Avengers or whatever overtook them as the most seen movie or whatever. And they were like, oh, well, we're just going to re-release it.
People still went and saw it.
They fucking re-released that movie that had been come out, 10 billion years ago?
Well,
and they're like...
They do that all the time now. You know, you can go see Raiders of the Lost Ark. You can go see Jaws again. They're putting all the old movies back in the theaters. However, my thing was, you didn't show any of the story. And
True, bad.
Yeah, really bad, because it's like, okay, we know Pandora's pretty. We most people who are into the movies love the world, but what is this about? You know what I'm saying? Or you just watching this dude run and jump and hide and shit, and you're like, okay, that could look like any video game in the world. So I did not get excited for this Tifobot, and I'm not an uber fan of Avatar. I like the movie. I'm not like, I love Avatar. I like the movie. I haven't even seen that damn thing at that park that you went through, so shoot. I'm not an uber fan, but show me some story to get me interested in this, And what kind of story is it? Is it an RPG? Is it just a linear action adventure?
RPG.
That would make it a little bit more interesting if you had some choices. Choices in video games are good. We agree upon that, Yeah. So that's about all I have to say about this. I mean, this is a wait and see, but what bugs me is what I first talked about is that, are you guys just doing this because of the movie is coming out? That you really have this, on your plate for a few years and, it's a coincidence. So I don't know, Liza, what you think?
Well, nothing in marketing is a coincidence.
That's true.
But again, I'm like, it looks pretty. And I saw the movie in theaters and walked out of it saying the other version of the movie was better, which is called Fern Gully. And
I've heard it. I've never seen that. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? I highly recommend it. It's got Robin Williams as the voice of a bat named Batty. And instead of aliens, it's fairies in the rainforest that's being chopped down for oil. So I would say that has more of my attention than this trailer does, and I will go rewatch that movie.
There you go. So I don't know, man. Whatever. So
whatever.
And Tiff, you said you didn't give a damn about it, right?
Oh, I don't. You're right. That is correct.
Okay, well, that's it for the news. Speaking of that, Tiff, I'm looking at these notes that you sent with the links, and I keep looking at Loki, man. Did you get a chance to check out Loki?
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, maybe,
I did too.
Maybe we'll do a one-shot next week and then do the wrap-up like we did in the past, when it's all over. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, man. So that's it. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back because it's game time.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, shoot. Hold on to them cheeks then, Tiff. Here we go. All right, man, we are back, and I'm a little nervous about this because we got a game coming here, and, I don't like to lose, and so hopefully I don't lose because I don't like to lose. So anyway, Liza, what's the name of your game, and what's the concept?
Okay, so this is a game that I've borrowed from the NPR show Ask Me Another. The game is called This, That, or the Other. So every question is going to fit into one of three categories. And today's categories are 1, lesser known Star Wars characters, 2, movie monsters, or 3, rom-com villains.
Oh, God.
So we'll alternate back and forth.
Rom-com villain.
We'll alternate back and forth, and then if the person who is posed the question gets it wrong, the other person is able to steal by guessing one of the other two categories.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Here we go. Shit.
I mean, the thing about it is that the Star Wars characters, I'm scared.
Okay, I didn't even know rom-com had villains, so there we go.
Yeah, well, I mean, wake up. Come on.
so I'm scared.
Okay, well, who wants to go first?
Tiff.
I'll go first, yeah.
All right, Tiffany will go first.
Okay.
The first name is Sardo Numspa.
Oh, I got this one.
Oh, and that's got to be Star Wars.
Oh, you're so wrong. Can I steal?
Fuck!
Yes, Montego Steele.
That's my dear sweet brother Numsi from The Golden Child. That's Adam Numspa.
Oh my god.
Yes, so that's movie monsters. Yes.
That was great. And I'm happy.
Lord, look what
Okay.
you've done.
Hey, the monsters were for you, Tiffany.
Well,
You and your horror films.
glad to disappoint on all accounts.
do you remember The Golden Child now, Tiff? Do you remember
Yes.
my dear sweet brother Numsi?
Yes.
Brother Numsi.
Okay. So next question. This one's for Montego.
All right.
Ben Quadraneros.
Oh, that's Star Wars for sure.
Yep, that's Star Wars.
Mhm.
Oh my god, this is an excellent test, Liza, because these all names to me they all sound like it could be anything. They could be any category. Except for monsters, maybe Ben. But all right,
Okay, so Tiffany.
Yes.
Sharpay Evans.
Oh, I know this one. Can I steal?
Sharpay Evans.
I got it.
And that sounds like that's the rom-com villain. She's from High School Musical, right?
Oh, you got
That
it.
is
You got it.
correct.
Oh, I got daughters, Tiff. I knew who Sharpay is.
I was. How embarrassing to know that. 1 point for me.
Yes. Okay, so Montego.
Indeed.
Your next one is Paige Tico.
Paige, that's definitely a rom-com. Paige.
Hmm.
Paige. Oh shit. That wasn't in the one with Jennifer Lopez. That's what's the name of that movie? The wedding.
All you have to know is rom-com.
The Wedding Planner. What's a rom-com?
All you have to do is say it's rom-com.
Oh, that's rom-com.
That is incorrect.
I'm gonna steal it. It's Star Wars.
Yes, it's Star Wars.
I was gonna say it sounds real dumb. It's gotta be Star Wars. Point for me.
Who the hell is Paige?
Paige Tico is Rose
Is-
Tico's sister who dies
Oh,
in The Last
and
Jedi.
yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Tiffany, your next one is
Yes.
Peliquin.
Peliquin. Oh, that sounds like a monster.
That is correct.
Oh,
Yeah. Look at me.
That is from the movie Nightbreed.
Oh hell,
I've
I would
never
have
seen that. I'm gonna write that down.
I was like thinking, is that Avatar?
Okay. Montego, your next one
Okay.
is Aldous Snow.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this no.
Yeah.
It's
Don't
monsters.
second guess yourself.
It's monsters.
Nope, Tiffany.
No, it's a rom-com villain. It's from the Hunger Games.
No, it's not from the Hunger Games.
Yes, it
a
is.
rom-com. It is.
Oh my God! So I'm forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yes.
That's from who?
It's Russell Brand's character
Oh
in
my
Forgetting
God.
Sarah
I
Marshall.
love forgetting Sarah Marshall. I was like, how do I know? How do I know this name?
I would have
Oh
never
my
got that one. That's for sure.
I thought it was weird when you said Snow, because like the guy in Hunger Games, his name's Snow, right?
Yeah, President
Yeah,
Snow.
yeah.
So I was like,
President
oh, it's the gotta be the Hunger Games. I was like, that's not really a rom com. But then as soon as I thought about it, I was like, oh shit, it's forgetting Sarah Marshall. Oh, I watched that when I'm sad.
All right, I got to get back in the game here. This is crazy.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I'm
all
winning.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, Montego,
Indeed.
Ponda Baba.
That has to be Star Wars.
Correct.
Yes,
That is
indeed.
Star Wars.
Indeed.
Oops.
All right, Tiffany.
Yes.
It's serious now, y'all. Shit got quiet. Shit got real up in here. Go.
Mhm, mhm.
Wait, I reversed it. I think because Tiffany, you had the steal on that one. So anyway, I'm gonna
Oh well,
even it
you
out.
want to do Montego again?
No, I messed that up. But okay, this is the last question that I have.
Okay. Shit.
It's Torok.
Turok. That's a video game character and a comic book
That is,
character.
I remember Torok, the video game. It doesn't-
Yeah. But I don't know them in a movie sense. I guess I would say monster.
That's correct. It's from the movie Troll.
Yeah.
so what does that leave us as a tie?
I win. No, I blew you out of the
it's-
water.
It's 5-3. I do have
5 to
to
3.
tiebreak. I have two tiebreakers if you want to just see if you can figure them out.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let him go first.
Listen to the
Okay.
cockiness, y'all. She knows she won already. God damn.
All right, one take. Sack Lodge.
Oh shit. Star Wars?
Nope.
That's a
Tiffany, do you know
total
that one?
guess. That's a total guess.
Sack Lodge. That sounds like
It's
maybe
a
a
monster.
rom-com villain.
It's a monster.
It is the name of the character that Bradley Cooper plays in Wedding Crashers.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Sack.
I had no idea. Okay, and
When
the
I,
last-
when I saw Wedding Crashers, I thought it was a very funny movie, but then if I try to watch it now, I'm like, this ain't funny.
Is that a romantic comedy? I thought it was just a comedy.
No, I think it's romantic. They both end up with like partners and
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah.
and then the last one that I have on here is Malakili.
Oh shit. That's Star Wars.
That could be a Star Wars or a
That is-
monster.
It's Star Wars.
It's
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
Damn it.
All right, so this was fun.
Tiff,
Um,
you're the best around. You're the best
That's
in
me.
town.
I
Damn
finally
it.
won. I don't know. And even when I win, I'm like, yeah, sure, fine.
Shit. Good
Yeah, but you
game.
get so bent out of shape about losing.
I do. I hate losing. Anyway,
It's just a game on a podcast for fun.
hey, goddamn it, it's never just a game.
Oh my god.
Good game, Liza. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was. Shit,
it was fun, yeah.
Fast paced too. I like that. So that's beautiful. So, man, we're gonna take our final break here, man, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about some Bad Batch. So give us a second. Go use the bathroom. Meet us back here. All right, man, we are back. It's time for something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Talk a little Star Wars, man, with some other people who might have some kind of inclination that they like Star Wars. But my buddy likes Star Wars, but she don't want to talk about all the deep into the stuff. So we got a request, and I said, hey, let's do this. So this week, man, we're talking Bad Batch, man. And if you've been watching it, this is gonna be the show for you. If you've never watched it, we might convince you to watch it. If not, you might be on Tiff's boat and you might not care. So before we hit this thing hard, but like we always do, we're doing what? Episode 1 through 7. And so before we hit it hard, it's time for one. Our guest, one word. What you got for Bad Batch?
More.
As you should once more, Star Wars, when you're giving it a peeper. Oh, that's pretty good. Tiff, one word.
My own word is slog.
Could you explain slug?
Is it because it just, for me, it felt like a chore to watch this.
Damn.
I'm sorry. You guys know that I'm not like super involved in the Star Wars, like the deep Star Wars mythology. And there's lots of this very confusing to me about this. Like when I watched it, I was confused. Also, like the stuff that wasn't confusing to me was sort of boring because like it has to do with like a lot. You have to like know a lot already, but not really. Probably if you paid attention and were really like okay with Star Wars for the most part, this would be fine, even if this was your first Star Wars thing, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I would agree. My one word is nice. I'm enjoying this. It's not on the caliber of the last 3 episodes of the Clone Wars, but it's damn good so far. And you know, we'll get into it. Let's hit the spoilers so we can talk about it, and let's get moving. So, first one opens up, man. You had to watch. Well, you didn't have to. You would assume that the last season of the Clone Wars, these characters were introduced. I think in I don't know, Liza, was it 2 shows or 1 show, 3 shows?
It was
like that?
it was a couple. I think it was a couple of episodes in the later seasons. But yeah, I think that you don't necessarily need to know them from Clone Wars to get into the action here because they're reintroduced in this first episode during Order 66 being executed. And yeah, you get to find out what being a member of the Bad Batch means, whether your inhibitor chip is working correctly or not, which we find out later on in relation to what's going on inside their heads.
Yeah. So go ahead.
So full disclosure, while I'm watching this or discussing this with you guys, I have Wikipedia open because any Star Wars talk just fucking immediately devolves into like amorphous dildo on fucking Green Planet 5 did this thing in year 1522 whatever, and that made this happen. No. So you guys are talking about the Order 66, and I was like, hey, I'll open that up and I will see what that's about, just so I can be a little bit more. The open, there's a fucking whole goddamn set of shit I have to read about that too. No.
Well,
just tell me what the answer is.
It's pretty essential to the Star Wars thing. So
what is Order 66?
Oh, that's just when the Emperor, Palpatine it's the Jedi Purge. He had all the Jedi murdered at one time, and it was always a mystery upon how that happened.
When that was happening, when that happened, how did anyone think that they were the good guys?
Who? That the clones were the good guys?
Yes.
Well, because there was a twisted story that the Jedi had become traitorous. Every last one of them, which is a little far-fetched, that they were all going to take over the galaxy, so the clones had to put them down. And everybody in the galaxies, they accepted that,
And there's a chip inside their heads. So when the clones are hatched or however they're grown, they have a chip implanted that has this code written in there that when the Emperor says execute Order 66, everything inside their head changes and they believe this piece of information. So, but yes, it is a lot of information that you have to keep straight. And when I said the word inhibitor chip, glasses grew on my face spontaneously and got shoved up against my forehead. So,
and you started saying,
inhibitor chip.
Oh Jesus!
So when you're watching this, and part of my problem is, and I get that this animation was chosen for a reason back when, I just don't see why I didn't get an update now. I think it looks bad, and also I think it kind of has like, for me, I didn't realize when I was watching this that I realized that they were bad clones, right? Because they say that a lot. That's why they're called the Bad Batch. They are
defective.
Just bad batch of clones.
Defective, right? Like a bad batch of Easter eggs or something. I don't know.
Right. So, but when I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh, that must mean that they're not really clones. They're just regular people. But then I realized, no, that doesn't make sense. They're just like clones that don't look exactly. So they're supposed to look somewhat like each other. And I had a hard time accepting that because they look nothing alike to me. And so they would go places and people were like, oh, it's clones. And I was like, how the fuck do they know?
The armor is a dead giveaway, Tiflbot. That's one thing.
See,
and unlike you, I do think they have subtleties like that looks the same. However, I will agree with you 100%. I am not a fan. I have never been a fan of this animation style. I just not. I would like to see something more realistic. But this is what they went with, and they've stuck with it, and it's kind of grown on me, so I don't mind it that much. But if they ever came out with, they changed stuff a little bit for Star Wars Rebels, but it still was his cousin, to that, so it wasn't that different. But it was a lot more brighter, that's for sure. Now, speaking of Star Wars Rebels, first show, that little kid is Caden, that's one of the stars, played by Freddie Prinze Jr. on the Star Wars Rebels show. So that they actually showed his escape, which was kind of accurate because there was a comic book about him, and I read that, and that was kind of accurate with the exception of the Bad Batch being in there. But I guess, depending on who's the creator, you didn't have to focus on the bad. A clone was a damn clone, and he got away. So it was pretty interesting. So, man, now these clones they've been taking orders their whole lives, and which are short because it's accelerated. And now they're in a galaxy and they don't know what to do with themselves because they've been following orders, but they're trying to get to the bottom of this. Now, My favorite arc so far, which has only been maybe 2 shows, it's been this Crosshairs thing, Eliza. And I don't know how you felt about it, but it got dark like a MF fast, man. I was like, whoa, this is what I want, more of this, man. You know, when he murdered the people and murdered the dude and everybody got murdered and Saw Gerrera was there. I thought that shit was dope, man. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. I thought it was really interesting, and especially to start with the premise that where you think that these 5 characters are going to be like together 100%, and then they immediately take somebody off and turn them, essentially. I liked that, and I want to see more of it. I would like to see that storyline get pulled through future episodes. It'd be nice to have some sort of back and forth between what's going on with him and what's going on with the rest of the group.
Yeah, I could tell y'all this. One thing I don't like about Star Wars is how they take these effing terrible villains, and then with one act, they redeem themselves. Like, I'm like, this dude killed civilians. There is no coming back from that. Darth Vader killed children. There's no coming back from that. You're not returning back to the light. Get out of here. You're evil. So that's, I was like, oh shit, it's like, he's bad as Darth Vader. I hope he never come back to be good. I hope he's like a piece of shit forever.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, because he's a smooth bad guy. He's a better bad guy than he was a tough guy with, I'm shooting people, because I'm Crosshairs. He was kind of boring, but now I was like, oh shit, he's dope. So, I forgot, that Governor Tarkin is all in this, and I like when the characters that you're familiar with gets more of an open storyline and stuff like that. So that's one thing I think it does really well. Sorry. I was just about to ask you that. I mean, not even ask, but just saying that you might not appreciate that, Tiff, because
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't care about any of that.
Damn, Tipplebot.
I'm sorry. This is like I have come to realize that watching this shit is like watching it's like I'm not into war history either, so I don't want to like know everything that happened in World War II. If you want to tell me something specifically that interesting that happened, like someone was like, this happened on this day, and then something interesting happened. I'm like, okay, cool. You told me that in 5 minutes. We're cool. I am not gonna spend and no dissing on anyone who is into that, but I'm not gonna spend like hours upon hours learning about something that happened that was even real, right? I'm not even gonna bother about the real war. This is fake war. And I don't care about like General Poopy Pants or anything of that stuff that happened on some other. I don't care. That doesn't mean that I don't enjoy watching these things. This one seems a little bit more. Not that you need to know that stuff, but like this one's more for people who are into like going a little deeper. I think, not necessarily because it is deep, but because it is an extra thing that you have to watch in order to engage with some other elements of Star Wars. Does that make sense? I like Star Trek, but I'm not ever gonna read a Star Trek novel. I'm not gonna do it.
It is, but it's literally was born out of fandom, I believe. So I think that
I think like for certain people this is like their jam, and nothing against them. It's just not my jam.
There's nothing to learn. Is what I'm. It's like more it is.
But Admiral Tarkin, the fucking Order 66, Deepa Bilaba. Who the fuck are these people, and what's happening?
God damn.
Like I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. Even when I watch old Star Wars movies, I still am confused about when stuff's happening. They're like, "Well, this is happening." I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Hey, Liza, get your friend. Get your goddamn friend.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. And she's allowed to not like it. That's why this conversation is interesting. If it was just us going back and forth and being like, I like this, I like that.
Get your goddamn friend. She goes too far.
I am not going too far because I'm not actually saying anything about the property itself.
No.
I'm saying these are the things that I have a hard time ingraining myself with it, because I have never been a super like, oh, look, this loaf of bread, I want to dissect it and I want to know exactly how it became bread. I don't.
Well, with all due respect, even all of this Star Wars stuff, you got to remember, the thing was born out of 3 movies back in the 70s and 80s and stuff. And then, they started with the books and all this stuff. It's all George Lucas's fault for being the merchandising master. You know what I'm saying? There's something, because think about it. 30 years went past and there was nothing done with Star Wars, and then poof, all of a sudden, other than some novels. So anyway, man, we get introduced to Omega, and I don't know how, she's a cute little character. I'm surprised that she's still on the show, but I think they have big plans, Liza, for her. You know, I don't think this is a one season show they're intending upon here. What about you?
Yeah, I think there's probably a lookbook somewhere where it's like in episode 30 of season 29. And I think that it's an interesting concept. First of all, she is a clone, but she is female, which is new.
Big deal,
which means,
right?
Which means she's also not a clone. So I'm waiting for them to like get into that part of it. But I think that she is the focal point for like the child audience of this, and it kind of detracts from those of us who are not children and who are taking it from, you know, Clone Wars, which is much darker and especially ends in a much darker place. And she comes in and she's like super happy all the time and is curious about the world and has never left her home on Camino, and so she doesn't know what like land looks like. So she's only been on a water planet. So like that I think is the crux of them figuring out who the audience for this show is, because if she continues to be this like wide-eyed, not wild-eyed, wide-eyed.
She wow, that girl.
Who just doesn't like it takes a lot for her to absorb information. But she's also they're giving these clues about her, about like what her special ability is, and it seems to be that she can see the future. That's my guess, is that she can see so? Like because like not the like long view, but like
a Jedi vision or something like that, huh?
Yeah, like the immediate future. She'll like touch somebody and be like, "You're such and such," or "I think we need to leave now." And so there's that component to it. I don't like the idea of a like telepath necessarily in Star Wars, because that's not really something that's been introduced as a
unless you're Jedi.
Well, but that's more of like mind control, and it's temporary. It's not like forever.
No. They get visions of the future, big time. Yoda with Anakin and Obi-Wan with Luke's future and stuff. Yeah, they get. Yeah, remember he saw Han Solo and them being tortured, and he left his trainer.
Visions. I'm okay with visions, not so much like
I know
being
the
able
future.
to see everything all the time.
You're gonna die tomorrow, right? I got you.
So that's interesting to see where that goes, but I hope that there's more development in not just her character, but also in the other clones' characters, because right now we've only seen them manage crises, like how to like fix a problem really fast. Like every episode seems to open as like, why can't we fix the hyperdrive or whatever? And so you're like, well, they fixed it at the end of the last episode. Like, can't they have a couple of normal days or something like that?
Speaking of normal days, when Wrecker's my favorite character, and so anything he does, I'm just like, I love this dude. But when they were like eating that popcorn and stuff and having their celebrations, I was like, I like shit like that, you know. So it's kind of like both sides. You're like, you know, I don't really need this character, but then when I see stuff like that, I'm like, I kind of like stuff like that when they're like just trying to be normal and stuff. Speaking of stuff that's not normal, so they brought in Fennec from the Mandalorian TV show, and to me that's an interesting thing. You talking about making it worse for Tiff, just.
Bring more stuff in here that I don't fucking understand because I wasn't watching anything.
Oh God.
But the thing is, with Fennec, you don't necessarily need to know.
No, that was fine. I
story
understood.
In order to like get the and also we don't really know that much about Fennec.
No,
like
she's a mystery. Rest for sure.
And I think that's what makes her a good character, is that we don't know everything about her, and that means that this future show that she's going to be on, will have a lot to play around with.
Yeah, I just hope my buddy one day just sit down and watch Mandalorian. Just
me? Are you talking about me?
God dang on right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just watch The
You know-
Mandalorian. Just watch it, please. Especially, it's so good. Especially season 2. Holy Jesus, it's so good.
You know that she's gonna, when and if she ever does, she's never gonna like it as much as you want her to like it.
No, I just
So
I reference it too much, and she's like, I ain't never watched that shit. You know, just like, I'd be like, God damn it, come on.
So we did this. It's so true. I just, it's not, it's weirdly not for me. However, this Rampage episode is that's the episode where they go, they meet, is it Ord?
You talk about the Rancor?
No, it's Sid. I'm so sorry. So like Sid is somebody who's gonna give them like not bounty, but odd jobs they can have to make money because they need money because they're trying to like keep ahead of.
Oh, and
the Empire.
she's raping them too, boy. I mean, they get no money, but go ahead.
Okay, I want to talk about that too, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that they're looking for a Rancor. They retrieve it, a young Rancor, and then we find out that that is the Rancor that they kill later.
Yeah, poor.
Well, I mean, like we don't find it out, but we just, you would assume.
Oh yeah.
But and so fine. But I guess my question is, so I don't watch Star Wars,
Yes.
right? I don't know anything about it really. I mean, the movies obviously, but like, she shows them a case of money and she's like, "There's more where that came from." Ooh, I have no concept of how much money that is.
Oh no, neither do we. I mean, you know how I reference Star Wars money, because in Star Wars back in 1977, when they went to Han Solo and they wanted passage, and he was charging them like, he was gonna give them like 17,000, and they were like, "Whoa, 17,000! Those guys must be desperate behind their back." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, once you in those thousands, and you got a guy who was money hungry, like going crazy about how much they were gonna pay him for a ride. So that's the only, how much, what their money concept is. That's all I know, So no, you never know what's a lot. But all I know is she opened that briefcase full of, it had all the little metal pieces in it, and she gave them like 3 pieces. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, but I don't know, but that could be a lot of money. I don't know.
No, it ain't a lot of money, man. It is not a lot of money. You got more than me, and we did all the work. All you are was the finder's fee. You should be getting the 3%, So
well, she's like, it's like a mob racket, and
yes,
she's charging them for protection essentially, because she knows that Fennec's looking for him, and she's gonna like hold them hostage to her.
Oh, and she's just waiting to turn them in. She's a piece of shit. Yeah, she's a total piece of shit. I don't like her at all. I mean, I like the character. I'm just saying, like, y'all need to get away from her because she's terrible. She's just waiting for it to, to make a fortune to turn all y'all in. So
Right. Yeah.
Look, we talking about them like they're real people, Tiff. See, that's what Star Wars do to you.
All of my friends in space.
My space friends. That's what should be called. Space friends.
So
various space friends you will be forced to investigate further to know anything about.
So
yes,
they finished the last one off. Well, the last one we saw was number 7, and they brought Rex into it. And he had a quick little thing, and they got rid of him, and they gave him the walk into the mist, indicating to me that we'll probably never see this character again. But you get more of that character in Star Wars Rebels, because he's an old fat dude in Star Wars Rebels. They a lot of the clones got old, and so I like that character, and I hope that he would be super old if he was ever on the Ahsoka show, because they kind of stuck together for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. I like the character, and I really don't want to see it go, because of whatever. But I don't know, man. I'm enjoying this damn show, y'all, and it's not the best stuff right now. The last 3 episodes of the Clone Wars has all Star Wars animation beat down. I don't know, Liza. I don't know if I asked you, how did you feel about those last 3 episodes?
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed them. I think that they're some of the best Star Wars, and I kind of think of it as, I watched Clone Wars over this time in lockdown, and so like the past year I watched all 7 seasons and finished them the day before or the day of Bad Batch coming out. So it was like perfect timing to get right into it. And I think that what I've enjoyed about the Clone Wars is that it makes the prequels feel more relevant.
Yeah, that's true.
So much of those plots are like really, they're trying to cram a lot of information and it's really spread out and you don't really know how anything's connected. And some of the things that I liked about it might not be the things that everybody liked about it. I liked understanding the politics a little bit more about what's going on, because you're like, wait, why do we care about this? What is happening? This is this isn't like a tax thing. Like what's exactly going on?
I want to know more about those trade routes, goddammit, because that's Star Wars for me.
Oh my God.
But the thing is, this is how like not intricate, but just like I'm fine with learning this fictional information. But then I see like the same kind of garbage happening around us in government in general, about like how nobody can come to an agreement over the minor thing. And I think that's really interesting to see it in Star Wars, where essentially you'll go through, or in the Clone Wars, where there'll be like a full episode where they're like, we just want to give people food.
Yeah.
And it takes so much time on both sides to like get to an agreement to give people who are starving food. And you're like, well, this is actually what's happening. And I think that part of it is interesting to be like, well, yeah, it's tedious, but it's also the real world.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's the difference between a 20-year-old making a movie about fast shit and shiny swords, and then a 50, 60-year-old billionaire making money, making a movie about, what's relevant in their lives, So now we're talking about blockades and, hunger and stuff like that. But, back when Star Wars started, this shit, it was all about the Millennium Falcon and them swords. That's all you cared about,
Right.
So
right. And George Lucas has talked a lot about being inspired by World War II with those initial movies. And I've also heard that like a lot of what was going on in like the Middle East was inspiration for the prequels, as far as like geopolitical stuff going on.
Yeah, because I want to know more about that.
Well, I think the problem was a lot of American people didn't know a lot about what was going on.
But you talk about Star Wars, and now we're like, when this movie gonna be over with?
Right.
What's up with the explosion? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm being a
right.
jerk.
But I'm saying with the Clone Wars, you get into the characters more, so that it feels more personal. It feels like
it's easier to take it at home in your living room too. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But not for Tifobot. So
no.
Nothing's ever easy.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm looking forward to more of this Bad Batch. I'm digging it. It has, I wish they hurry up and dump the kiddie stuff, because it seems like all these Star Wars shows, they start out a little kiddie and then it'd be like, okay, enough of the kid shit, let's get to the killing. And I'm like, okay, right, that's what I'm talking about. And I mean, Rebels did that, Clone Wars did that. I hope we don't have to go 7 years for Bad Batch to really do that. So, get to it sooner. But I know it's coming, so I'm fine with it. I'm enjoying it, and I like all the characters that's in the Bad Batch. Each one of them is has enough personality. I don't know. So that's my final word on it. What about you, Liza?
I'm enjoying it too. I want to see where it goes. I agree with you about the tone that I want it to take. And yeah, let's not have it take forever to get there. But I think they need to decide, like, you can make a Star Wars show that's just for kids. You can do that.
Oh, they tried. It was a miserable failure. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a total failure.
Well, I feel like we talked about this. We talked about the holiday special that they did, the Lego holiday special. I feel like that was for kids.
Oh, but it was. I'm speaking about that Poe
fine.
Dameron show they did. That show with the, it was a regular cartoon. I think it only lasted like 8 shows or something. It was terrible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that like they need to figure out who their demo is and find out, who's actually watching it, and kind of target the show that direction.
Yeah. You would think they would be a little bit more laser focused at this point in the game after all these shows. And I know Tifobot has, things to say. I know she, final words, Tifobot.
I just think, for me, it's not enough to get me to watch it more. I'm like, I wasn't like wanting to rip my eyeballs out or anything like that, but
It was work. It was work for you.
It was work for me. It was like, I wasn't like, whoa, I'm just gonna let that next episode roll. I was like, fuck, is this over?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I expect, Tifflebot. One of these days, something is. Well, I can't even say that.
One of these days, I'm gonna make you watch something that I love, which has happened before.
Yeah, well, you know, you like a lot of Star Wars shit. You loved Rogue One, man.
I did like that, yeah.
Yeah, shit. So, yeah, I know. So, yeah. Anyway, man, that's gonna do it. My name is Mr. Button, all the way up to the top. Take over. You know, I enjoyed myself. I'm so glad that you was able to come on the show, and I got some Star Wars out of my system for a while. You know?
Thank you, Liza.
Thank you, Liza. Thank you for coming on.
Of course, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be your Star Wars outlet.
Much appreciative. And Miss Tifflebot. Say goodbye.
Yeah.
To people.
It's been a pleasure as always.
And until next week, man, we will be
On
Patrol.
Yeah.